Hello and welcome to the Filmhouse Show, the home of movies and cinema in Nigeria. My name is Joke Akinola and I'm coming to you from the Filmhouse Cinema in the Surulere Leisure Mall. Key to everything we do is to get you guys at home involved in the cinema experience. So keep up to date with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's the Filmhouse Cinemas. On Twitter, it's at Filmhouse Cinema. And on Instagram, it's at Filmhouse Cinemas. So stay tuned and let's see what we've got coming up on today's show.
Look around you, James.
Now I'm really excited to be here at the box office to purchase my ticket for that movie we've been dying to watch, Spectre. Can I get popcorn? Thank you very much. Now that I got my ticket for James Bond, let's see what other filmgoers are here to see.
Yeah, I came to see Goosebumps.
I can see Black Mass, and why? It's accidentally. I thought Spectre was going to be showing today, so then I just looked for the next interesting movie.
I came to see The Visit because there's a particular actress on it that's Unse Nkpe Etim, and I really like her movies, so that's why I know it to be very interesting.
Black Mass, because the trailer was nice.
Black Mass. I came to The Visit and it's an interesting movie.
Well, I'm here to watch Goosebumps. I've heard so much about it. It's an exciting movie, and I hope I get excited.
Well, you heard it from the fans. Now, we're going to show you some of the films showing at Filmhouse Cinemas while I go inside.
Goosebumps is an adventure comedy based on the children's book series of the same name. In this film, a teenager teams up with the daughter of a young adult horror author, and what unfolds is literally out of this world. For all you action lovers, this one's for you. Black Mass tells the true story of Whitey Bulger, played by Johnny Depp, as the brother of a state senator and the most infamous violent criminal in the history of South Boston. The all-time classic Peter Pan has once again been reinvented with this one. This family adventure film sees 12-year-old orphan Peter become the hero he has forever dreamed. After rising through the ranks of her male-dominated profession, FBI agent Kate Mesa receives a top assignment by an elected government task force to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the US and Mexico. This is Sicario.
Now, for those of you looking for a little variety, these next films are for you.
They're evil.
The Nollywood scene has a lot to offer with this one. Nse Ikpe-Etim delivers a top-notch performance as she shows her crazy side with this role. The Visit is set around two couples from complete different sides of the tracks, starring Femi Jacobs, Blossom, Nse Ikpe-Etim, and Bere Makinwazu. This four-man cast is guaranteed to have you laughing.
Cinema is as much about the movies as it is about the guys that make it work. I'm talking about the stars and the guys behind the scenes. We caught up with screenwriter and director Shea Babatokpe of the popular Nollywood movie called When Love Happens.
Oh my gosh, Mo, you won't believe this, you won't believe it!
He proposed.
We have a wedding to plan and I need you to do it. Jennifer Bigwe is getting married.
Wow, it's beautiful.
I know.
When Love Happens debuted in Nigerian theaters, I feel people didn't know what to make of the film. They didn't know whether to classify it as a typical production that they've come to expect from Nigeria, and there were no big recognizable names in the film. There were some newcomers, interlaced with some seasoned veterans and stuff. So they didn't know what to make of it. And the production value, which I get a lot of credit for, they saw it, so it was in between. Is it a foreign film or is it a locally produced film? Because the Nigerian consumer has a delineation of those two. They go into a Nigerian production with a certain level of expectations and not a lot of, not a high expectancy for what the film could provide, but they aggregate their expectation of the film. And When Love Happens superseded all those preconceived notions, and they were surprised by it. And I think it kind of took people a little off guard. And I think overall the film When Love Happens was well received. And the reception grew exponentially. There were lots of repeat viewers. So I think it's a film that once people saw it, they told their friends and their friends' friends that, look, you have to go see this film.
I'm actually waiting for someone.
Mo, and Leo.
You have got to be kidding me.
Never, ever agree to go on a date with a guy before you know what he looks like.
And they dragged them there, and those people also said, look, so the fan base of it grew and steadily rose consistently, and people were like, you know what, here is a film that represents a Nigeria that we haven't seen depicted before, which was one of my goals and one of the things that I really appreciated the most from the audience's response to the film. And it grew from there, and it premieres in the UK, and I think it's the first Nigerian film to get a release in the UK in a very, very long time, which is another credit to the fans and the actors who worked their tails off to perform in that picture. Hi, I'm Shay Babatsakwe. I'm a film director and screenwriter.
Welcome back to the Filmhouse Show. We're coming to you from the Filmhouse Cinema in the Surulere Leisure Mall. Make sure you keep up to date with us on our social media platforms as you stand a chance to win free movie tickets as well as invites to movie premieres. So on Facebook, it's the Filmhouse Cinemas. On Twitter, it's at Filmhouse Cinema. And on Instagram, it's at Filmhouse Cinemas. Now, there's that time of the year when a major film is released and the whole world grinds to a halt. I'm talking about the mother of all films. Well, that film has just hit the cinemas and everyone can't get enough. Yup, you guessed it. I'm talking about Bond. James Bond. The 24th film in the franchise sees James Bond on a trail of discovery. Watch out the exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of this film.
Tonight we have completely shut down the streets of Rome, and we are doing a scene where the hero of the film, Mr. Hinks, is chasing his evil nemesis, James Bond.
We have the Aston, which is obviously classic design, smooth, fast car. And then we have Hinks, who's a beast of a character in the beast of a car, which is the Jaguar CX-75.
It's amazing. It's one of those scenes that's going to be very iconic, I think. Just with the two cars racing through the streets of Rome. I mean, how often do you see that? It's one of those things you only see in a James Bond film.
I wanted the audience to be dropped right into the middle of a very, very specific, very heady, rich environment. It's the Day of the Dead. Everywhere you look, there's colour and detail and life. And we built floats and maquettes, and the costumes are extraordinary, and the craftsmanship is amazing.
We went to Mexico and found amazing people there. It is their culture, so they had to teach me.
The philosophy of the Bond franchise, and mine particularly as a filmmaker, is to do things for real. So you have to roll up your sleeves and work it out.
Coming into this film, Sam was really up the ante. We're going to be spread all over the place. You know, we're going to Austria, which is a massive special effects stunt sequence.
It's something that hasn't been done before, where we have 3 cars and planes. I think it's going to be a great scene, and the audience is going to love it.
We have a lot of special effects and a lot of stunts. So when Daniel's on the rooftop, he's actually on a rooftop in Mexico City. When we have helicopters flying over the square and down the streets, it's a real helicopter actually doing the stunts.
The and then there was Morocco, which was a huge sequence for us.
Someone who's really familiar with this Bond craze is my next guest, up-and-coming film producer Bambi Mccauley. Hi, how are you, Bambi? How's it going?
Good, good.
So before we started this interview, you said that you'd seen every Bond film.
Yes, from Goldfinger down to Skyfall. Yeah.
So what do you think is going to be different about this 24th Bond film?
What they did here was they brought back the most evil organization you could ever imagine. They are everywhere, from the guys cleaning the streets to the President of the United States of America. That's what they've done. Now, what James Bond is up against is like Vic O going up against Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake. That's what's happening. Those are the odds that he's against. First off, what is James Bond? He unconsciously messed up their plans 3 times before. In Casino Royale, they needed their money back. You went in, you messed stuff up. We killed your girlfriend. We were coming for you, but she killed herself. Fine, we let that one go. Now let's take over Bolivia and take their water and everything. Extort these people. You went in, you messed up again. Okay, fine, no wahala. Now I'm going to take over your organization, MI6. Fine, you went in, you messed it up again. Now we want to take over America, England, everybody's secret service in 9 of the most powerful countries. And while we are doing that, we are going to mess you up first. Now you have the guy from Django, Christoph Waltz, the baddest guy in town. He might actually die in this one, I'm not sure. You have Batista, the huge guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the green guy, Guardians of the Galaxy. You have my girlfriend, Monica Bellucci. She's 50, but she's, you know how things go. Let's leave that for another time. But that's what he's up against, and I'm really, really excited to see how they bring back Spectre. Spectre, the special executive for counterintelligence, terrorism, revenge, and extortion. Imagine, that's the name of your organization.
I love it. I didn't even realize Spectre stood for something.
They are underground, they are anonymous. So they're everywhere. And let me throw in a spoiler. I followed the story from when they started production down to when they put it back on Wikipedia. So I've read it again and I've confirmed that they actually wanted to take over MI6 by taking it from the top. The guy, the head honcho, was part of the people. So Bond has to fight Spectre and MI6 at the same time.
Well, there you had it, guys. For those of you who haven't seen the spectacle that is Spectre, check this out.
This organization, do you know what it's called?
Its name is Spectre.
Look around you, James. Everything you believed in, a ruin. Why did you come? I came here to kill you. And I thought you came here to die.
Well, it's all a matter of perspective.
So guys, that was the amazing Spectre trailer. I'm sure those of you who haven't seen it, it's next on your list. Now we're moving on to the new releases. This film is coming out this weekend. It's a dark, hilarious comedy that is set on the streets of Lagos. It's called Taxi Driver Okwa Shower. Hi, Bambi, I hear that you're one of the producers on this film, right?
Yeah, Donald Wonka forced me to be a producer on this film.
Forced you?
Yes, I just wanted to do the background work. I said, guy, come and produce the film, and well, that's where I am now.
Okay, how was the experience?
It was harrowing. It was harrowing, but what we tried to do, we tried to take the best of Nollywood, the Nigerian English Nollywood, and the best of Yoruba Nollywood in Odunlade Adekola, Afiz Oyetoro, Femi Jacobs, Ijoma Grace Abu, put them in the pandemonium of a city that is Lagos, take one of the best known cars in Nigeria, which is a Peugeot 504, painted in the colors that you love, black and yellow, and slap on it the symbol of Ekoile. What do you think is going to happen in the movie? Pandemonium now. Social media is going crazy. We have support from so many people. It's insane. I'm about to take it up a notch because guess who's coming to the party? Bado Sne. Sne is coming to the party. So
Okay.
it's something that if you would see how proud you would be of your Lagos, of your Nigeria, and the type of people that you meet in this film. We've taken care to give you something that you know you'll be proud of. From the cinematography, Ape Ododo, director Daniel Mccauley. Who else is there? Mr. Moses from Filmhouse.
Okay.
And Mr. Kenny as well. So it's something that you should look forward to.
Nice.
Something you should look forward to.
So like, what was your favorite experience about like producing this movie?
My favorite experience was just watching how Lagos came alive when they were interacting with the cast and the crew. For Odunlade, he shut down the whole of Eko, he shut down the whole of Lagos Island. People were trooping in, people were literally taking Okadas and Kekemaras from distant places in Lagos just to come and see him.
Like the governor has come.
Like the governor has come to Lagos. We literally could not shoot for extended periods of time because he was around. Same with Saka. And Femi Jacobs also pulled his crowd and Ijoma too because it was crazy. When you're driving, because I had to do a lot of the driving of the taxi from location to location, you see people loving this film. You see people loving the taxi. You see people shouting, Eko for show and stuff like that while you're driving.
Everywhere leads to everywhere in Lagos. Don't be afraid of getting lost. Shine your eye.
Ikola bebese, ibe bogwe daba. Eko. Mímọ́ lẹ́tùn máa rìn ọgbà mímọ́. Nothing happen now. Stop it, baby. You're the crazy. You're mad. Now. Get a fucking hammer. Your leg is not good. Come inside. Make a carry you.
You know what's good for you. You know what's good for you.
Yeah, boys, fool this place.
I'll smash your cow.
Good evening. Try.
Taxi driver, go Ashawo.
That looked really good, guys. Once it comes out, make sure you catch it at your nearest Filmhouse cinemas. Speaking of Filmhouse, let's check in at our headquarters to find out what exclusive information we have for you.
Oh, hello and welcome. My name is Ken Baro, and this is where we make it all happen. This is where we generate all the big news, all the big cinema and exciting industry news. With me, this is the ESCO for Filmhouse Cinemas and FilmOne Distribution. And with me is Mr. Kene Okosa, is the Deputy Managing Director of Filmhouse. Mrs. Busola Paul Taiwo, she's our CFO. She makes all the money happen. And Mr. Olu Obayomi from our investors. And he's the one that makes Filmhouse and FilmOne happen in terms of investment. Mr. Moses Babatope, he's an Executive Director and COO FilmOne. And Mr. Anthony Okosa, he's a company legal and company secretary. So the big news this week is online booking. The first online booking system for cinemas in West Africa. Gentlemen, lady, fantastic. You know, Only at Filmhouse Cinemas, where you can go to our website, is www.filmhouseng.com, and book your cinema ticket to all our cinemas so you don't have to queue anymore. You can be in the car, pick up your phone, and we're also launching, or we've also just launched, the Filmhouse mobile app. You can just pick up your phone, your smartphone, go in there, go to Play App Store or Google Store, download Filmhouse Cinemas app, and that solves all your problems. You can book your cinema ticket, pay for it, get to the cinema, jump the queue, just go to that special queue for you and get your tickets. So we've solved all your problems. This is where the big news happens. We make it happen in cinemas in Nigeria and indeed in West Africa. So thank you for coming, but remember, next time for all the big and exciting cinema industry news, just stay tuned to Filmhouse Cinemas.
You can now book your ticket online, guys. Saves you the stress of queuing up. Guess I'll be booking mine next time. Coming up next is a rundown of news and interesting things happening in the world of film.
Spike Lee fans will be excited to know that the trailer for his anticipated movie has been put out a month ahead of its release. The movie, which has been slated to hit cinemas early December, has received a few reviews from critics claiming the name gives the city of Chicago a bad image. The buzz surrounding the upcoming Star Wars film has reached fever stage. A terminally ill fan who has been given just a few months to live was granted his wish to see the new The Force Awakens film nearly 2 months before it comes out in cinemas. The filmmaker who recently released his new film, The Hateful Eight, has sparked a new row with US cops for his speech at the anti-police brutality rally October this year. Let's see how it all plays out.
Well, I've had such a fun day here at the Filmhouse Cinema in the Surulere Leisure Mall. Make sure you tune into this show every week for all your movie updates. And you never know, you might just be joining me for a movie sometime soon. But before I go, I have a quiz question for you with a family ticket to any Filmhouse Cinema of your choice up for grabs. The question is, what film holds the record as the second highest grossing film ever in Nollywood? Submit your answers to us on our social media platforms and hashtag The Filmhouse Show. On Facebook is The Filmhouse Cinemas. On Twitter is @Filmhouse Cinema. And on Instagram is @Filmhouse Cinemas. So don't forget to submit your answers. It's The Filmhouse Show. We'll see you next time. Let's